What's going on, guys? I'm back, BusterBarnes here, and today I'm going to be going through tomorrow's game preview of Chelsea versus Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to be going through our whole season so far, about the first third of the season, I'd say, and also going to be going through my thoughts on what I think we should do to improve for the season forward. I'm going to be talking about who we should sign, who we should try and sell, and just general tactics and what I think our best team is at the moment. So be sure to stick around. I mean, if you guys have been sticking around my channel for the last couple of years, and I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, thank you guys for that. And I'm definitely going to try and do this sort of thing a bit more. Like, the reason that I'm doing it now is to just, get the topic going. A lot of people have been talking about this lately, what should Chelsea do, what they shouldn't do. And I thought I'd just, give my sort of thoughts on, what I think we should do as a club. So, without further ado, though, I do want to talk about our game against Wolves. It was kind of a general showing of, I think, how our season's been as a whole, really. I mean, I know we lost, and that's only the second game we've lost this season, let's not forget. But, it is sort of, it was only 2 games before that we lost to Tottenham. And, some general, points can be brought up as to what we're doing now. Against Wolves, I say that the first half we were all over them. We dominated very well. Should have put chances away, and we didn't. And then when Wolves came back, it sort of shifted the momentum. And to be honest, we haven't really done too well in games where we've gone behind. I mean, it's not happened really a lot. And you can see that the team does struggle and something gets taken out of them, which I think Sarri really needs to sort out. After the game, he said that he didn't really know why the team was acting that way, which is a little bit worrying. So hopefully he does sort that out. Now, what I want to do first and foremost is the title of the video, which is a preview for the next game. I'm going to go through the team of who I think should start. Well, really, a sort of a mixture of my prediction and what I think should happen. So, starting off, Kepa in goal. Now, Kepa against Wolves. The second goal he did let in, actually no, the first goal he let in was a bit of a shame. He did get his hand on it, and I find that with Kepa a lot, that a lot of the goals he lets in, he seems to get his hand on it. I don't know if it's just showing, how close he is to saving it, or it's just showing that maybe he's not that strong in palming strikes away. Maybe he needs to improve his wrist strength or something. I don't know, I'm not a goalkeeper training expert, but that is kind of frustrating. But I do think in general this season he has been quite good. I don't think he's really been as much worse as Courtois would have been, for us, to be honest. I know Courtois is obviously a better keeper at the moment and is great, but I don't think Kepa's doing that much of a bad job. So you can't help him too much. He is young, he's obviously going to get better. He has settled into the squad a lot better than he was doing at the start of the season. So I think going forward he is our goalkeeper, and I don't have any qualms about that, to be honest. I think Aspi as well. The thing with Azpilicueta is people have been saying he hasn't been doing that well, but if you think about it, Azpilicueta has never had really a bad performance. So, when you're saying that about a player saying that he can do better, it just shows the quality that Azpilicueta is, our club captain. And I think, he should start every game, continue. He is a great defender. Maybe needs to get a bit more used to the system, but you can say that of pretty much everyone. It's, a new system, completely new to what we've been doing before with Conte and Mourinho, etc., who are very defensive. This is a lot more possession, free-flowing, attacking football, which everyone needs to get used to. So, I'm sure Azpilicueta will adapt and show us, just how great he is. And, you're not going to play Zappacosta over him. Zappacosta probably needs to go. He's not really been that, impressive. He was all right against PAOK, but so was everyone. PAOK went down to 10 men very early, and they're also not a great team. So, that game was sort of a bit hit and miss, really. Moving on to the other side. Now, in my opinion, a lot of people, have ups and downs with Marcos Alonso, a lot of varied opinions. I do think he is our best left-back. I think he provides so much going forward that it's hard to ignore. But going back, it is still more to be desired. He has got better, to be fair to him. I think he has definitely got better at defending. But I do have to say that, it's not that good. And the last few games, he has been awful. He hasn't even been good going forwards. And, that's something that really is his main strength. And his crossing has been atrocious as well. I think personally now, I know this won't happen because apparently Sarri's come out and said that Alonso's not tired and that, he's, very important to the team, which is true. I think Alonso in general should probably start the majority of our games, but the last 3 games, even the win against Fulham, he was absolutely atrocious, and in my opinion, I think he looks quite tired. Marcos Alonso is what a lot of people call him, and I do think that, we should maybe give Emerson a go. I know it's kind of like weighing up the pros and cons. Like, either throw Emerson in at the deep end against a team like Manchester City, or you play Marcos Alonso, who is a good player but has been atrocious the last 3 games. So we're probably going to stick with Alonso, but I think I'd probably give Emerson the nod and just see how he does, really. I think that he could, counteract maybe Sterling's pace as well. Alonso's not that fast. But we'll see. Alonso does provide some defensive qualities. He's obviously stronger and is good in the air. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Two centre backs. Obviously, it's going to be David Luiz and Rudiger. Rudiger, our best centre back, no doubt. There's really no argument about that. He is a great centre back and will only get better. David Luiz. The thing is about him is he provides so much going forward. Now, sometimes he does, do the occasional long ball, which is a bit wasted. But I think in general, he is very crucial to the possession-based style. He's always very calm on the ball. To be fair, the errors that he's made, I know that he's been responsible, I think, for 7 of our, I guess now 13 goals. It was 11 before we conceded 2 to Wolves, which is pretty bad, but it's not really when he's in possession. I do think that we need to replace him. I would personally still play Christensen. I know he conceded 2 against Wolves. Didn't really think any of those goals were his fault, and also you can't really blame him considering the lack of game time he's got. But you do sort of see the pros that David Luiz gives going forward as opposed to Christensen, who is a good passer in himself, is good at keeping possession, but he does do so much for the team. Probably does a lot more for Marcos Alonso as well. Marcos Alonso probably feels a lot more comfortable trying to pass the ball to Luiz. Marcos Alonso not necessarily the greatest player in possession, and Luiz can kind of help him on that. So Luiz will obviously play. I'd give Christensen a few goes. I think if Christensen doesn't really pan out, then we do need a new centre-back. I know we've got Ampadu, but he's very young, needs time to develop. Cahill as well, absolutely just out of it, not getting game time. He's definitely not going to be around, I don't think. It's a shame because I did like Cahill when he was paired with Terry, but he's just past his prime now and unfortunately has to go. We do have Kurt Zouma, who I think is a very good centre-back, but I'm just not too sure what Sarri's going to do. I wouldn't be too against us signing a new centre-back, although I would like to see, obviously, one of our players develop, as I'm sure that every Chelsea fan would. So yeah, the back line, Kepa, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, David Luiz, and I would say Emerson. That's who I'd start, but it's probably going to be Alonso. Now, moving on to the midfield, obviously Jorginho and Kante are going to start. Kante, putting critics a little bit to rest. He's been very good the last few games. Even the game we lost against Wolves, Sarri did pick him up, saying that he wasn't doing things properly. But, Kante, he's very good at transitioning the play from defensive to attacking. He is very quick. Interceptions quality, tackles quality. He doesn't have to do as many this season. I think that's what people are forgetting. People are saying, oh, Sarri's playing Kante wrong. Sarri's not doing this right. Kante just has less of a workload now. With Conte, Kante was mainly in a 3-4-3, so it was mainly in the midfield 2, where he had so much more work to do. Now he's in the midfield 3, where he can share a bit of the load with Jorginho and Kovacic, or whoever else is playing instead of Kovacic, whether that be Barkley or Loftus-Cheek. And I think Kante's forward play is getting better. And the thing with Kante as well is he rarely loses possession. So really, in a possession-based team, he is still pretty good. Now, whether he should go deeper, that's an argument that I'm not going to say. I think Sarri knows what he's doing, and I think we should give him a chance. To be fair to him, Sarri probably doesn't have all the players that he necessarily wants. We will have to wait till January, maybe even next summer if we don't get a transfer ban, which in some cases I don't want us to. In some cases I kind of do, because I want our youth to be used. But I do have to say that I do think that Jorginho and Kante, where they are now, is probably the best for them. Now, the other midfielder role, I would again start Ruben Loftus-Cheek. 2 goals in his last 2 Premier League games. I think he's had 6 goals in probably 7 starts or 7 appearances or something ridiculous like that. He just provides so much more going forwards than Kovacic does, just loads going forwards. And the thing is Kovacic, in my opinion, isn't actually that impressive. At this point, I'm actually not looking forward to the fact that we may sign him. I think that he may be a better role as a sort of backup for Jorginho or Kante. I don't think him as the third midfielder works. He's obviously a great player, but he does not provide enough going forward. Barkley, 3 goals, 3 assists, I think, this season. Loftus-Cheek, 3 goals, and also the hat-trick that he scored in Europa League. Loftus-Cheek just has a power about him. He's big, he's very good at dribbling, he's very quick. I think that he should personally start against City. I know it's a big test for him, but I'm pretty sure he played against City for Crystal Palace, so he should be used to it. So I don't see why not throw him in. Wouldn't mind if Barkley started either, although he's coming back from an injury, so maybe a bit of a worry there. I just would start him over Kovacic. We may start Kovacic. We did rest him against Wolves, but I would start Loftus-Cheek. I think, he's talked about, he's going to decide on his future based on the next few games. I'd say keep playing him. I think he's our best player for that role. Maybe not a better player than Kovacic overall, but also his work rate's not that bad. People say he's lazy. He does get back a bit. Obviously, it's, yet to be, fully desired, but I think that he's still a great player. So yeah, I'd go with Kante, Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek, but obviously Loftus-Cheek's position is a bit of a toss-up. Front three as well. Hazard obviously starts. Hazard dropped down a little bit lately, hasn't really looked as up for it as he has done, but he's obviously a quality player, can come back and bounce back at any time. Obviously still on 7 goals, which is absolutely great. Usually he doesn't start seasons very well, so I think if he does end the season quite well, or hopefully he picks up as soon as possible, he should have a decent tally, or probably his best tally ever at the end of the season in terms of goals and assists. He's actually very high on assists. I think he's second or joint second for assists this season, which I think people forget. His goal contributions is still only second, I believe, to Raheem Sterling. He did get an assist for Loftus-Cheek's goal against Wolves as well. Going up front and on the right, I do have to say that Pedro definitely has to start. Now, a lot of people were, crapping all over Willian, saying he's a bad player. He's obviously not a bad player. He hasn't been that great recently, but you can't forget the qualities that he does bring going back, changing play, and, just all of that sort of stuff, really. Willian, though, it's not his time. I think that Willian it'll probably be a thing where him and Pedro will swap. Pedro will go out of form and Willian will come into form. It's sort of what they've been doing the last few seasons. But Pedro, at this moment, does suit the system better, does have to start, has way more of a goal threat in him at the moment, and I would definitely start Pedro, as well as Giroud. Now, Giroud's on a little bit of a goal streak lately. Morata has scored more Premier League goals, but Morata, in my opinion, is a lot better against the worst teams. Now, I don't know if that's because he's a worse player or what, but he's just not strong enough for the Premier League at the moment. He gets knocked down so easily, he argues with the ref all the time, and I just think that Giroud needs to start. Giroud provides that strength. He provides that link-up of Hazard that Morata doesn't. And, he's still, he does have a bit of a goal threat in him. Really, to be honest, in January, we do need to look to get a new striker in. Abraham's doing well in the Championship, but obviously it's going to be asking a lot to bring him back and throw him in there straight away. Hopefully he is one for the future, though. But we definitely do need to bring in a new striker for January. Batshuayi hasn't done too well at Valencia, so I'm not too sure if he's the option either. I don't know who we're going to bring in, but we do honestly need the striker. Morata and Giroud just are not good enough for us. They're not good enough to win the league, and they may not even be good enough to get us into top 4. So we really do need to sort that out. So that's my team for the Man City game. I've got a decent feeling about this. I don't think we'll lose. I think that we might actually get a result out of this. Hopefully, obviously, a win. I'm always hoping for a win, no matter who it's against. But I predict a solid draw. I think we'll get a draw against City. I think there'll be goals in this game. Obviously, our defence is pretty shaky, so I do expect City to score. But I do have faith that hopefully our players can step up from the previous 2 pretty lame results and get us some hard-earned points on the board, and hopefully propel us up the table a bit. We are joint on points with Arsenal, who are in 5th. We just luckily have a bit of a better goal difference, but really I think probably, I know it's only a third into the season, but I do think that Arsenal and us will be the ones battling for 4th place. I think, oh no, sorry, not us and Arsenal. I think us and Tottenham will be. Arsenal were looking very good. They're sort of picking themselves up. I think that Arsenal might be in top 3 with Liverpool and City. I said this at the start of the season to my mates, and they said, no, Arsenal won't be doing that well. But, Arsenal are picking things up. Their strike force is crazy. Aubameyang top scorer. So I think that you'll see us and Tottenham maybe battling for that 4th spot, which hopefully, obviously, we do get. Hopefully, obviously, we can do well in the Europa League as well. So maybe if we do miss out, which obviously I really hope we don't, hopefully we can win the Europa League as well and get some silverware. For Sarri, who hasn't won any silverware before, so that'd be a big up for him. With regards to what I would do in the future, now I'm talking about January and positions that I think we could strengthen and players that I think we should get rid of. Now, obviously, Drinkwater and Moses, if you guys still remember who they are, haven't been used this season really at all. They both need to go. They're both dead weight. They just don't have any place in the team really, so hopefully we can sell them. I do think we need to strengthen potentially in the centre-back role if Sarri is not looking to play Christensen and Christensen is looking to leave. Hopefully not. I think Christensen could become one of the best defenders in the world still, but if Sarri doesn't see that, then, I guess we need a new centre-back really, to be honest. I think Ampadu could be great as well, but obviously he's quite young. So I think a new centre-back may potentially be needed. I think new cover for Azpilicueta, maybe a younger, more sort of defensive and attacking, maybe up and down sort of fullback is needed, maybe a younger one. Zappacosta just isn't good enough, so I don't see why we can't get someone to maybe learn off Azpilicueta. I don't think we really have any youth fullbacks that are really doing anything. I know we have like Ole Aina, but I'm not too sure how he's doing for Torino. So maybe bring him back, but if not, I would get some cover for Azpilicueta and sell Zappacosta. Midfield, I think our midfield looks pretty good. I think you've got cover for each position. You've got Jorginho and Fabregas, you have Kante and Kovacic, and you have Barkley and Loftus-Cheek. I think that's pretty good. If we do sell Fabregas, though, obviously we're going to need someone else to cover for Jorginho, which I said I think Kovacic could potentially do, but maybe we'd look to get someone else, maybe someone that is a bit more used to sitting a bit more deeper. But the two positions that we mainly are concerned with is we need a new winger and we need a new striker. Now, winger, we need a new right winger. Obviously, we've got Hazard. Hopefully, we keep him. I mean, honestly, if we don't have Hazard, that is really going to hit us very hard. I think Hudson-Odoi is great on the left as well, who I would like to see cover for Hazard a bit more. I think a lot of people are saying, if we get a new winger, it will stunt Hudson-Odoi's growth. Well, no, because if we get a new winger, what we should do is we should sell either Pedro or Willian. Now, in terms of the system, I do think that Willian is the one that has to go. He doesn't suit the system as well as Pedro. However, if we do get a winger who's very similar to Pedro, cutting in, creating, and shooting, in on the left, then maybe Willian is a better option as someone to maybe change the flow of the game. So maybe we get rid of Pedro in that respect. But I'd say we're probably going to get rid of Willian and bring in someone. I'm not too sure. We've been linked with Bailey, Pulisic, players like that, Sancho. I mean, they all sound quite good. I'm not too much of an expert on other leagues at the moment. I've only really been watching the Premier League this season. But a new right wing is definitely needed. And as I said before, a striker 100% needed. Morata and Giroud are not good enough. I'd get rid of Morata, to be honest. I don't see him really getting good enough for us to have any sort of chance of winning the league. I don't think he's a title-winning striker, at least for us. Not in the Premier League anyway. Which is a shame. He was so good at the start of last season and showed a lot of promise, but he's just, I don't know, I think the mentality's got to him as well. I think he's pretty fragile, and I think as long as he's in England, the stick's going to get to him. He's going to have it in his head, and I don't think he's going to be sorting it out. He is kind of, I don't want to compare him just because they're Spanish, but he's kind of like a younger Fernando Torres for us, really. I do love it when he scores, it's obviously great, but overall in general, he is not good enough. So that is a position that I would definitely strengthen in. I do think that if we got rid of him and then maybe later on got rid of Giroud, I do think Abraham would be a great second striker to have. I do think that he's kind of a bit like Giroud. He's like a bit of a quicker, younger Giroud, in my opinion. He's strong. He's a bit of a poacher. He does link up play quite well as well. His control's a little bit left to be desired at the moment, but he is young. And I think he's probably a better finisher than both Morata and Giroud, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So yeah, I'd like to see him get a go, but whether that happens or not, I don't know. Chelsea aren't really that renowned for playing their youth, even though we have probably the best youth system in England, if not second best. So that's a shame. But I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so for tomorrow, hoping we beat Man City. Leave your predictions for that game in the comments below. I think it will be a draw, obviously hoping for a win though. I don't think I'll be happy with a draw just because I know maybe it's just me, but I'm never really happy when my team draws games. I always want to win, which was annoying, when we had managers like Mourinho and Conte. But now we've got Sarri, I think we're going to be a lot more attacking. And really, I think the main problem is we just need more clinical players. If our strikers and wingers were more clinical, we'd have probably won, or a lot more of the games we have already. So or at least scored a lot more goals. So yeah, leave your predictions in the comment below. Also like and subscribe if you guys are new or if you're coming back. I will be doing this probably again. I might even be doing this after the City game, maybe a Manchester City review. If you'd like to see that, do leave a like. And yeah, it's good to be back, and I will see you guys next time.